Hello and welcome to my channel. Sewing, spinning, weaving, knitting, lots of crafts, all from the top of a mountain in Tuscany. The weather has been absolutely beautiful just lately. You can see, can't you? We're just on the edge of getting into summer. The roses are blooming and look at that view. Absolutely stunning. Here is the dress that I failed, my failed thrifted dress, so I'm going to try again. All hopefully in time to go to the market in Lucca, because there's a French market on soon. So I am in my studio. I need to tidy it. I've got my sewing machine ready, but I have been painting. This is my latest painting. I'm changing my style a little bit. But after the fun of painting, I'm now cleaning up a little bit so I can start sewing. I have taken the dress apart. I just thought it better to start from scratch. I've taken the zip out. I don't want a new dress to have a zip in. I want it to just be over my head. So there's the back. I do have a plan. I have been thinking about this for some time. The skirt is very full and it was pleated with soft pleats. There are small panels at either side of the skirt, and I've removed the two panels with these fantastic scissors thanks to a coffee bought for me by one of my lovely subscribers. So thank you very much. So I now have two panels from the side of the skirt, and I'm going to make wedge-shaped panels to fit in the side of the bodice. I've got just taken my measurements in my notebook there against the dress. I don't want anything major being wrong. There's the back that I've taken the zip away from. I've decided to do a gathered skirt with the panels missing. So I've started to sew the bodice together using the method I would normally use when I'm making a dress from a pattern. So I'm just joining the shoulders front and back. It's very tricky because I haven't got much seam allowance, because it was all, haven't got any really here in the shoulders because it was all cut away. The facings I've removed, although with a new piece under the arm I will need an extra piece of facing, but they're a bit floppy, and I've decided to interface them with some scraps of interfacing I have from previous projects, because I think it'll give the dress a sharper, crisper, less worn out kind of a look. And I also think it'll make the facings a lot easier to work with. I'm putting in the panel. I hand sewed one side of the panel to allow me to make some adjustments after I tried it on. I actually had to put in a bigger panel than this one. There wasn't enough room in the bust, there was in the waist, so I had to cut out more panels for the side of the bodice that were wider on the top. But I was just going to try it at this point. Here are the facings that I've interfaced. As you can see, they do look a little bit scrappy because they had been trimmed and notched to fit the dress. So it was a bit tricky. I had to concentrate, and also it was trial and error as to which piece of the facing fitted which part of the armhole in the bodice. Just sewing it in. I think that's the back facing actually. There is the panel there's the front of the bodice. I've taken out the first panels there. This is before I sewed in the second panel. I decided to gather the skirt, so I'm using 2 close rows of machine loose or long basting stitch to make some soft gathers in the skirt. Again, there isn't an awful lot of leeway because it's all been notched, but to gather it I just hold on to the 2 loose pieces of thread and just gently pull because it's quite fragile and I have to be careful that I don't break the threads that help me gather the skirt. So, as they say here in Italy, piano piano, I just took my time to make sure that I did it properly. Here are some final adjustments with the bodice. I wasn't happy with that shoulder on the left as you're looking at it. I'd had trouble with the other shoulder initially because it wasn't sitting right, so I'd adjusted that, and this is the culmination of a lot of toing and froing to my machine and my mannequin to try and make some final adjustments with this shoulder, which I'm just taking it off here. I ended up just cutting and starting again. Here I am back, and I think this time round I was happier with it. Yeah, I was happy with that. I measured, the 2 shoulders weren't measuring equal either, so I measured them both to make sure they were the same, but it was really time for a lunch break. So as the weather's wonderful, I decided to eat outdoors. It's one of my favourite things to do, is to eat outdoors. People don't realise our winters here can go on for over 6 months with cold and rain. So as soon as the weather is fine, I'm out on my balcony with a delicious bowl of pasta. This is some chestnut pasta, and I've cooked some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes, added a little bit of basil pesto genovese. Absolutely delicious, and just what I needed to put my energy back before I went back into the sewing room. I'm just cutting off the excess from the larger panel because that was too big, but I was able to fit it to myself, and I cut off the excess. And also I made the panels too long, but the bit I cut off the end of the panel fitted in perfectly with the missing facing I had to put on around the armhole. And here it is. I added a bow a la 1980s, a softly gathered skirt, and I'm off. I really want to finish this dress to go to the French markets in Lucca, which were happening as I was trying to finish my dress. And did I make it to Lucca French markets in my altered thrifted dress? You'll have to wait and see till the next video. So if you like this video, please like, hit the notification bell, and please subscribe because it helps my channel grow a lot. 78% of all my viewers are not actually subscribed yet, so I would really appreciate it if you could do that for me. Also, what really helps me just now is if you consider buying me a coffee. It's just €1, and the QR code is at the end of the video, or I've left a link in the description below. Thank you for watching. See you next time.